After School Special Podcast. After School Special Podcast. After School Special Podcast. After School Special Podcast.
So we talked about some things last time, John, that were cool. And then the video that I made for like our soundbite, I don't think people got that it was kind of a joke. That we were talking about this super serious thing, and then we totally like abandoned it.
Talking about the draft.
Yeah, it was so funny to me. Like, yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Like,
but real quick, just to let you guys all know, this is After School Special Podcast with Don Dyson and John Staffman.
Hello, Emerald City.
And I'm back.
He's back.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Not a huge surprise, but clearly one of the great comebacks since Burt Reynolds' hairline. It came in a two-word statement, which is now just begging to have a Nike campaign built around it. Quote unquote, I'm back.
I think it's an amazing day. Even though it wasn't a surprise, it's still kind of a shock to the system that this has actually happened. But I think we need to take one thing into consideration. This is a guy who has constantly exceeded all of our expectations. He was always a little bit better than we thought. He always had a little bit more than we thought he could give. And he always made something happen.
Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
From White Africa, Dayton, Ohio.
Yes, our imperial overlord is back. Yay! I mean, our co-host.
Our dear leader, if you will.
Yes.
Our beloved leader.
Back from cult training, and he's learned some things that he likes to share with everybody.
And the name of the cult, or the people that are in the cult, the John Cougar Mellencamp. That's what we're going with. I don't even know any of his songs. But it's a great name. He's got great hair, and I think he had sex with Meg Ryan. So,
who hasn't?
3 for 3 for
Oh,
me.
man, that's a good segue. Have you seen Meg Ryan lately? Like, she came out for somebody's birthday party or something. Yo, man, she does not look great at all.
Well, what about, what's her name? Bridget?
Fonda?
No, Bridget Fonda.
That's
his,
she's old.
Let's just have a moment of silence. And we're done.
The 80 for Brady movie, wasn't she in that? She looked okay.
Yeah, she was. Yeah,
yeah, right. 80 for Brady. I smashed.
That was Jane Fonda.
That was Jane Fonda.
I'm getting my Fondas mixed up. There's too many Fondas, dude.
Jackie Brown. Bridget Fonda was in Jackie Brown. She was the one that was getting...
Oh, my blonde little surfer girl.
Yeah.
The one that got shot. She got shot by De Niro.
Dog. Did you feel Samuel Jackson's pain when he was like, my little blonde little surfer girl? I can't believe you shot her. I felt that shit. Like, yes. Don't be shooting my hoes. Not my blonde little surfer girl.
Dude, Chris Tucker was in that movie for 2 seconds. He wasn't even in there that long. He was in there long enough to f*** up, and then Samuel L. Jackson shot him, and then that was it.
You know who was supposed to play that role? It was supposed to be Danny Glover.
What,
no, he wasn't.
Sam Jackson role? I'm too old for this shit.
No, the Chris Tucker role.
Oh, God.
The Chris Tucker role. Yeah. You remember Chris Tucker?
Danny?
Yeah,
he was only there for 2 seconds.
Danny missed out on some good roles, man.
Yeah. Right? Is he like the most underrated actor? When
I
black people talk about black actors, I feel like he never comes up for us, John. Ever.
Yeah, I think the roles he takes are roles that are memorable. Like, of course, there's Lethal Weapon, The Color Purple.
I was gonna say he kind of supported Mel Gibson. Didn't he support Mel Gibson afterwards?
He said that was like his friend.
Yeah, that's my friend.
He's not like that.
You have to, suck his before the hot tub. That's like, that's 100% truth, right?
I love Danny Glover. He's a great actor.
Danny Glover was also in this movie with
Joe Pesci in Gone Fishing. That was a great movie.
Oh,
Gone
Yeah,
Fishing.
right.
Yeah, that was another
Yes.
Lonesome Dove. He was in that one too. So if you ever seen
That
that,
sounds
that's long.
heartwarming.
It's long and depressing. I'll tell you that much.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Back to you, Aaron.
Short and depressing over here.
Yeah.
Whoa, you firing on all cylinders on your from your vacation.
Lego my ego.
We talked
Lego
about
my ego.
several things last episode. So to recap, we talked about the robot invaders coming, and John didn't agree with me as far as like having like a draft and compromising, and he just wants to wipe the earth clean. So do you feel the same way, Aaron?
Kill all humans. Kill all.
Yes. Welcome.
Jesus Christ.
But
It is the
I
same.
All right, go back. You're fired again. You're fired. Get
All right, back to
do
Dayton.
for the Grand Wizards at.
God damn.
I do see Don's point to an extent, because Don was saying like we should do a draft where we send our best, which is really our worst. So if we're gonna do that, I say send Elon Musk, send Donald Trump,
Send Fred that up my Taco Bell order the other day. Doesn't know how to get a
send
goddamn
Fred.
bean burrito right.
Fred.
He deserves redemption. Come on, man.
Well, you know what's funny? They did that on The Simpsons, where they sent all the so-called best people, and Homer and Bart ended up on that shuttle that was flying directly into the sun. It was Rosie O'Donnell.
That effing show does everything that I've ever thought of.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
anything that I think is funny, I think you can say, "Oh, well, The Simpsons did that," just like the South Park episode did. Like, do you remember that one?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. The Simpsons have done everything. That's what's crazy.
Yeah.
But The Simpsons have been on long enough where they're almost like Chat GPT that
Yes.
they can.
Oh, fuck.
Predict the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah, they can. I'm sure there's an algorithm. This algorithm, so I listen to the episodes all the time, and listening to the last episode, Chat GPT has been around for forever, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
At least the early 2000s, which is like 2010. I'm sure it's been around even further.
Yeah.
So the writer's strike that is going on right now could very well be circumvented down the line, 10 years from now, through Chat GPT. I think so.
Oh, yeah.
The people that are the backbone of the industry, the people that are the most creative, are the writers, and they are
Yes.
paid the least out of everyone.
Oh, yeah.
It is insane. So to me, what they're going to try to do, they're going to try to utilize Chat GPT or whatever, some version of it, in order to write movies. A couple of people I know use it as prompts because they don't want to completely cheat it. But there's going to be people out there who's like, oh no, this is a real script. I wrote it.
Yeah.
It's about my life.
I agree with you. My brother went to write a treatment with a whole bunch of other comedic writers from all over the States, and they got paid peanuts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not like a pro in it. I mean, it was
your brother
good
is
money
super
for him.
talented. Your brother is super talented.
And he did our logo.
Yeah.
By the way, people.
Yeah. He told me that it was interesting, and they took forever to pay him, you know, so that was with CBS. I hope he don't get mad I name dropped that, but it was
now
with
we're
CBS.
back to King of Queens. Okay.
Kevin James.
King of Queens podcast.
A very underrated show, by the way.
King of Queens or Everybody Loves Raymond?
King
Which
of
one
Queens.
were you?
King of
Everybody tolerates Raymond.
I
don't think
I
Ray
like
Romano's
Everybody
that
Loves
funny
Raymond.
to me.
Hey, I got a wife over here, and then I got
bitch.
kids. I'm just being a dad. I'm being a dad. I'm
Yeah.
Ray Romano.
Family Guy.
That's
Family
disturbing
Guy-
that you're doing
Family
it that
Guy
well.
Family Guy did that one on Everybody Loves Raymond. His wife was complaining. He's like, you know, Deborah, you're a real bitch.
She kind of is.
She is.
John, her
I
or
think-
Jill from Home Improvement?
Jill.
Oh, Deborah, I didn't like Jill.
What?
Whoa, really?
No, I liked her as a mother, but I did not find her attractive. No,
not
I
even
didn't.
sneaky hot.
No, not at all.
Dude, fucking
hard no
wearing,
from John.
wearing those jeans with that flat ass. You can't imagine her gardening or doing anything like
Hey,
that.
she's a phenomenal actress. She got out of acting to take care of her kids because she wanted to be a mother first, so she left acting.
Jill?
Hell yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing Rick Moranis did, but she didn't get a lot of credit like Rick did. she did come to do a couple episodes of Last Man Standing where, Tim Allen's Republican show.
He did the but it was more like a hard R.
Hard R. Like,
that show was pretty successful for a minute, right, John?
It was.
Yeah, it got canceled, and then it got picked up by Country Music TV, which is not surprising.
Oh, CMT or whatever?
CMT, and then there's BET, and it's like literally the polar opposite.
So what happens if these shows are too, like, conservative for these other channels, CMT steps in and is like, hold my cup.
Or then you have shows or two, I guess, in this day and age, UPN, they go on BET, and then NBC is like, well, let's just do something with John Mulaney. He's safe.
Yeah. And then they have...
Mulvaney?
Mulvaney? John
Mulaney.
John Mulaney?
Is that the comedian?
You don't know who that is?
Yeah, that's the comedian. Jesus
I thought it was Mulvaney.
So, as I drink, I get sharper and sharper. As he drinks...
Not.
He does not.
No.
He does not. Also, Don owns a copy of The Beach, Grease, and Young Guns.
The Beach.
The Beach. Which
Get out of my house.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
God.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey babies, you liking the show? Well, thanks. Leave a 5-star rating and a comment, please. Do you want to see the guys' faces? Well, they got YouTube videos. You can watch this podcast on any major platform you listen to. Rate 5 stars and comment. Thanks, babies.
Speaking of The Beach, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, Leonardo DiCaprio chose that movie over doing American Psycho. He was in the running to be in that movie, but he chose to do that. You know about that?
Yeah, actually I do. What is it? Danny Boyle did The Beach, and then Patrick Bateman, played by Christian Bale. I cannot see Leonardo DiCaprio doing that.
They said Leonardo said he chose The Beach over that.
Yeah.
That movie is related to another movie with James Vanderbeek. Not James Vanderbeek.
Yes. Rules of Attraction.
Yes, because that's his brother. That's his brother.
Bret Easton Ellis, the writer of American Psycho, also wrote the book Rules of Attraction. Actually, Casper Van Dien played Patrick Bateman, but they cut that scene out in Rules of Attraction.
Yeah. They're brothers.
Yep.
Patrick Bateman is related to...
the James Vanderbeek in Rules of Attraction. Jessica Biel, that was the movie that, like, if you remember the show, Seventh Heaven.
Yeah.
Something Christian, but the father is a pedophile. Seventh Heaven.
Yeah, the irony.
The irony.
Well, wasn't he a real reverend in real life? Or?
No, I don't think he...
No. He was a reverend on Seventh Heaven.
Yeah.
He was a reverend on Seventh
ordained.
Heaven.
I thought he was.
The irony is that he did play this minister. Nobody snitched on him. He came out and told on himself. He said, hey, I used to do this.
His wife was going to come out and say something in regards to it.
Yeah,
That's why he had said it. And no, he admitted to being inappropriate with kids. And it's just the fact that it's Seventh Heaven and then Jessica Biel. That's where we're going to end it. Jessica Biel.
I like Jessica
Whoa, what do you do with Jessica Biel?
Nothing. It's Jessica Biel.
I like Jessica
Biel.
Biel. I like Jessica Biel in Chuck and Larry. When she got...
Every man our age loves her in Chuck and Larry. And
and
no
Larry,
one knows or remembers Chuck and Larry other than Jessica Biel taking her clothes off.
She did?
Yeah, and that butt bouncing. Bam, bam. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah.
She's probably my first white woman where I'm like, wait, they got asses now? The remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. She was in that.
Yes.
I knew she was in Seventh Heaven. I never watched the show, but I'm like, oh, she's okay. And I saw her in that. I'm like, holy shit. She got ass. When
that one-legged man was grabbing her on the ass trying to get out the tub.
Oh!
And Texas Chainsaw.
Back to you, Aaron.
I've always known why women had asses. I knew that.
I did not, because during the crack epidemic in the 80s and the 90s, like, white women seemed like simultaneously rejected fat asses. They did everything in their power. They wore sweaters over their asses. They wore baggy jeans, like everything.
It wasn't ideal.
It wasn't ideal. Back to you.
And now the tables have turned. Everyone's trying to get a BBL. And I remember, who was it? Trick Daddy?
Whoa. You got to explain that. For the old people. What the hell's a BBL? Old people means me. What?
Yeah, Brazilian butt lift. But I digress. So
you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
So what I was gonna say was now everybody's doing it. It doesn't matter. That's what made Kim famous.
But she doesn't have butt implants because if you watch the Kim Kardashian show,
It's not implants. It's injections.
Yeah, that's cement. Like they were taking
she had an X-ray on her butt, and it showed.
Yeah,
just
no.
Is that confirmed?
Well, yeah, all of them had injections. Yes,
they had injections.
Except for Kendall. Kendall is natural. She hasn't done anything to herself.
Yeah, so she literally is just a wood plank.
SNL did a skit with Megan Thee Stallion and two of the regulars on there, where she was talking about her butt workout. She was like Sergeant such and such, and she was doing a butt workout where she was bouncing. And I could not finish that skit. Anyway, the other part of the skit is two of the girls on there, white girls, have flat asses. So they were like, if you want a flat ass, come over here, because we go from back to more back. And it was funny, dude.
None of this will probably end up on the show, but is there an advantage to having a flat butt?
More aerodynamic when you're doing golf, swimming.
Oh, if you want to make firewood, yeah, there's advantage there. Friction upon friction.
I want to have like a woman from that was in her prime in the 80s and the 90s to come on the show to explain why did you guys reject your natural ass? Like, why?
I don't think that would.
I don't want to body shame him, John.
We were doing a lot of cocaine at the time.
Yeah, I don't.
And so we made them flatter so we could do lines off of the crack of our asses.
John thinks it's a good idea. We'll do that, John. Thank you.
I do not condone that at all.
We got it on tape.
Our assholes smell like a back of an Arby's.
I'm going to edit it to where John says yes. Like, you think it's a good idea? Yes, it's a good idea.
No, I full-heartedly say no. So, but yeah, man, it's been an entire change. The first white girl that I noticed that had an ass in the 90s was Six from Blossom.
Yes!
And yeah.
Good call.
She ended up in XXL. She was in XXL where she did a full, and when I was in high school and that came out, everybody was jerking to it. Like that was
Sabrina. She was like one of my first too. Sabrina, teenage witch. What was her name?
Yeah.
Melissa Joan Hart.
Yes, she's probably the first, honestly.
So the first for me was, and very weird, one of the female astronauts from the movie Armageddon, and then also the mother/wife figure in the movie Falling Down with Michael Douglas.
Oh my God.
Man, those are some deep cuts.
Yeah, those are deep cuts.
And it's real because of how specific I got.
That's very specific.
Oh yeah, that's dedication. When you're going that far back into the records, that is dedication.
He has jerk logs.
I know the exact moment. It was the movie Falling Down. People don't understand it. I think it's absolutely hilarious.
Wow,
but it was the movie Falling
Down was a really good movie. I remember watching it when I was in the service. That's when Michael Douglas went berserk, and it all started with trapping.
Yep.
Yeah, it was great. Good movie.
Oh, was it Barbara Hershey?
Oh, Barbara Hershey.
Yes, Barbara Hershey, Once Upon a Time fame.
Boxcar Bertha was like one of her first movies that she did.
Yeah, what horror movie was she in?
Insidious?
Insidious, yes.
Okay.
Insidious. Yeah, she was in Insidious.
Oh, she's in two Insidious.
Yeah.
She's in 1 and 2. There were 2.
Oh, 3. 3 Insidiouses. 4 Insidiouses.
Was it 4 Insidious? Really?
They're coming out with another one.
Oh.
So it's going to be more like the Fast and the Furious. It's all about family and demons.
Ghost cars.
Yes.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey guys, you can catch this podcast on any major platform you listen to podcasts. Please make sure to rate us 5 stars and comment on how you're liking the show. After School Special Podcast.
That hard goodness that you get the next day.
Oh, yummy.
From a day-old donut at Dougie's.
After School Special Podcast.
No. That's my childhood right there, motherfucker. When did that come out?
Podcast comes out every Friday.
How about this? How about we do like a Studio 54, but with dogs and cats and other animals, and they go there and they just a lot, but there's one dog that like wants to be a server and whatnot, and he's got like really yellow curl. It's basically the movie Studio 54 with Ryan Phillippe, but as like a golden retriever.
Yes.
What I just said, do not put in the podcast.
What do you mean? This is the podcast. We're under a new direction, ladies and gentlemen. Last time you might have heard us go through our feelings of sadness, of feeling down on ourselves while watching the NFL draft, and I don't think anybody got that. But
blame white people.
Well, we blame you all the time. Like, well, Aaron left the show, then that's why the ratings are down. We got that one guy who doesn't even listen to our show anymore because you're gone. The guy on YouTube.
That's the dude who was asking where Aaron is.
And then Don was like, is this a burner account?
No, I swear. I was like, yo, this is Aaron, dude.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah.
John, so did you even talk about you going to Gamma and that? Are you going to some more shit like that?
Oh, yeah. So let me talk about that. I did go to Gamma. It was mainly for people who plays board games, these adventure games, and card games. So they had games that were themed after G.I. Joe. They had other games that were themed after anime shows and stuff like that. So it was really cool. When you first come in, it was like I was an infant in there. So it was all new to me. So I went in there and I did get hooked on some games. I actually liked this one group called Phone Brain.
Can we play games live, like on Instagram Live?
I would love
Yeah.
What will we
Come
play?
to find out.
Call of Cthulhu.
One of my
Metallica song?
that's actually a pretty good game. That's
a Metallica song.
It is, but it does have racial undertones.
Yeah. I was going to say
it does.
H.P. Lovecraft was a huge racist.
Yeah, he wrote the books that are racist, right? That guy?
He works at the Sunoco down the street too.
I know that guy.
Yeah, he wrote a poem that was very racial about how black people were created. It's a really up poem, but it's one of his more popular
greatest hits.
Back then. Yeah, so anyway, I would like to say that I enjoyed myself at Gamma. I even got me some dice here. So the 20-side dice, nice. I got some of those. There is a big following of Kawhi out here because we have these.
Are we talking about Kawhi Leonard? What are we talking about here? I don't know what you guys are talking about.
It's Kawai.
Yeah.
And
Kawhi
it's
Leonard.
like Kawhi means cute or something like that. Like it's kind of
pretty much.
anime girls or something
and
of
this
that
is
nature.
like the love thing. It's a Korean thing, correct?
Yeah. So
Oh.
if you guys ever come out here and we can go to SAC Anime or, any of the conventions, you'll see all these people dressed up and you'll see the Kawaii girls. They'll have like flowers in their hair or some kind of anime outfit on. I've even seen guys wearing these outfits too.
Yeah.
Like I'm in California, so, we're a little more liberal with how we do things out here. So
culturally, can you see a difference between like the East Coast and the West Coast? Can you like really feel it?
Oh yeah. So when I'm home, I know there are some differences from when I'm here. Like when I'm here, I wear a ton of Hawaiian shirts. I wear like.
You wouldn't wear that here, John? Because it seemed like you would.
No, I wouldn't wear it there because if I'm being honest, I feel like it'll draw too much attention. Like when I'm in Detroit, I don't want to draw attention to
that's
myself.
different. That's different.
Yeah.
You want to be very vanilla, like camouflage
yeah.
gear. You want to blend in like Predator in the jungle. You don't want nobody seeing you.
Let me put this perfectly clear. I love my home city. It has raised me. I've made fantastic friends there. I lived a good life there. I love going home. I like seeing the updates of everything that's going on right now. However, there are some pockets of the neighborhood where my mom lives where you do not want to draw attention to yourself. You don't want to look like the richest dude on the block because they see you, then they want to know what you got. Like there's certain shoes I can't wear there. I just can't unless I'm in a big group. Like if I'm going out to Ferndale or something like that, or Royal Oak, I know I'm a little bit better off if I can wear that stuff there.
And that's where I come in, walking in with my Nordstrom Rack shirt and my Merrill boots, be like, hey, John, how's it going, everyone? Yeah. And then I get mugged the shit out of.
This is After School Special Podcast. I'm not trying to be funny here, but were you the kind of guys at some point when you were younger, you were fearless?
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't really get like that till I'm older. Like right now, I have a son now, so I'm like, shit go down, man. I'm taking everybody.
That's what it is. It's the kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. My whole thing is that I don't give a shit about myself. Like anyone tries to go after my kids, I will do anything and everything to protect my kids.
Yeah.
When you guys are young in your neighborhoods, you never like did things like I used to jump off trees 25 feet off the ground. I used to like jump off electric poles, do backwards flips. I used to almost break my
fucking poles. What the is wrong?
I thought when I was a kid, I thought I was going to be the next great stuntman like Jackie Chan. I would do crazy things. And it took life beating my ass before I realized my own mortality. And I'm just thinking, like, I couldn't have been the only one, right? We did crazy things.
I never.
I was too protective of my.
Yeah, I never did that.
I wasn't even conscious of my.
By 7 years old, I knew what my could do.
No, I did not.
I never did that, but I will say that my parents were overprotective. They always took me out of shit that could have really saved me. Like, I was in swimming class. I ended up fighting this boy in the pool, and I ended up knocking me down on the deep side. And the guard who was supposed to be teaching us to swim, her big ass couldn't get over there in time to save me. So I somehow got up by beating the water, and I told my dad I had water coming out of my nose and shit like that. I'm coughing. He's walking me to the locker room to help me change. I was like, why didn't you save me? He's like, I got all these clothes on, man. I can't jump in there and do that. And then he was like, you beat the shit out that water, though. So,
having overprotective parents, what are like the pluses and what are the cons?
The pluses is having a parent or having both your parents who are like overprotective. They care about you. Like if you end up doing something up, they're going to come get you. They're going to yell at you. Like this comedian said once, it's funny when you have both parents, like your dad is in your life and shit like that, and you are with your friends and all your friends don't have their dad. It's like you have to come out to them. So it's like you have to be like, hey, man, I tell you guys something. I got a dad. And the rest of them are like, yeah, we all got dads. And he was like, yeah, man, but I know who mine is, though. So, it's like you have to come out to your homeboys about that.
I didn't know who my dad was until I was 5. I thought the person that was in my life at that time up until 5 years old was my dad. And then I found out he wasn't my dad. I was like, oh, then who the hell was that guy? And then I saw a guy who looked exactly like me. I was like, oh, this is my dad. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
My dad didn't know who his father was. Like, my grandmother raised him, his brother, and his sister. And my dad never knew who his dad was. My dad had every reason to be, like, out. Like, I didn't have a father, so I'm not going to be there. And he wasn't, dude. He was in every aspect of me and my brother's life. He took me out of karate because I got kicked upside the head because I was learning how to spar. And as he put it, he said, I saw you get kicked upside the head. And I was like, oh, shit, I can't have him in here. So he took me out, and I was learning how to spar. I was like, man, if you would have left me there, I probably would have learned how to defend myself. He was like, no, you don't need to do all that, man. He said, I couldn't stand seeing my baby get beat up. So, that's how it was, man.
We don't have that much time to go, but let me ask you this question. If you didn't have your dad there, let's say you never knew your dad, and I pose this question to you, Aaron, how differently do you think you guys would have been?
Oh.
Well, for me, my dad was usually at a bar. So, he never really pushed me to do anything. My mom was the one that pushed me to do everything. So, for me, it doesn't really, do anything. I don't know.
I don't think you would have been a gang leader or some shit, or do you?
I think if my dad was more in my life, probably I wouldn't have been a gang leader or wanting to get a cult going in a sense.
Yeah.
Again, the John Cougar Mellencamps, look for us on Instagram and TikToks and all that stuff. John Cougar Mellencamps.
To answer your question, I think I would have been like Michael J. Fox, never saying no to shit. in Back to the Future. Like, I would always have peer pressure, like always somebody telling me to do something, I would probably do it. That's how I would have been if I didn't have my dad in my life. I just would have went along with shit just to go along. You know, like, I don't think I would have ever stood up for myself. You know, my mom, as strong as a person she was, I still had a loving family, but I would not have had any strong male guidance. I mean, I had my granddad, but I still think I would have fallen short of peer pressure a lot more. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Drugs was a common theme in our era, as it is in this era. It's opioids now, whereas in our era it was heroin and more like crack cocaine. But I didn't really like face that as much. It just was in the background because our neighborhood was so insulated. It seemed like it was like we were North Korea, for lack of a better example, around this backdrop of bullshit. But with that said, there's no easy transition from that shit to After School Special Podcast. Double D, staff man. After School Special Podcast.com is the website. After School SPE3 on Twitter. After School Special 3 on TikTok. After School Special Podcast on Instagram. And SpeakPipe. Latchkey Kids Speak.
Hit them with the personal socials if they want to write you independently. Like, I am Bohemian916.
If you want to see
on Instagram.
Yes, Bohemian. What are you? Rhapsody? What are you?
Bohemian916 on TikTok and on Instagram.
Look him up. Staff man. He does all these new toy unveilings. Are you calling them that?
I do unboxings and I do Man About Town. I'll be doing some more of that for the show. So, yeah.
I'm on LiveJournal, Cool Guys 69 420, and also MySpace as Brewmaster 42069.
Hell yeah, MySpace, baby.
And Black Planet. Aaron's on Black Planet, too.
Hey, Black Planet.
Sabotaged our whole episode. I don't even know what this is about. That's a special podcast. Good night.
Good night, people.
Hey everyone, it's Aaron from After School Special Podcast. Like what you hear so far? But don't forget to subscribe and download the show on whatever platform you get your podcasts. And just a friendly reminder, we have new episodes out every Friday. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Don't be shooting my hose.